will be off the back of the less track, but if he has a tough time, dies a couple of times as well, then I think Bright might have what it takes, even though they've got a Clinkz carry, which we do not see often. So I think all my eyes are going to be on XM.
Do not see it often at all. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I don't even know if he needs to like make really early rotations. I think he's got the capability to take out this mid tower, but yeah, I think this is... If they're going to win, Team Bright, it's going to be on the back of Irving, for sure. They actually see him. I think. Ping doing exactly on top of him.
Uh-oh, you want a good start? You don't want to be giving over first blood like this. And outside, he's going to find it. So how did they see him? Did Night Stalker, I guess nighttime for Firefly, right?
I guess, but... it's pretty decent vision, I guess, that it provides. I know he gives more at nighttime just in general, but that seemed kind of excessive.
Yeah, I don't know his base nighttime even without the Hunter in the night. But regardless, to be very happy with being able to find that first blood here for Piggy Killer. And they might be able to contest one of the bounty runes as well. Looks like they won't get the bottom one, so it will be a 2-for-2 in regards to the bounties, but of course very, very happy with that first blood given over to the boys on Dice. So let's see. I think a lot of my attention is going to be put on this mid lane. Phoenix once again giving her the Ember, but once again into a bit more of a trickier matchup, right? Into the Leshrac?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's going to be basically as challenging as what we just saw, so I wonder if he actually is going to go a little bit more into the Flame Guard, try and get up in his face, and use that to be able to bully away. I mean, we saw that Phoenix was able to get out of the laning stage previously against a losing matchup in a really solid spot, so I've got faith in him. Of course, it is there is space for kills going either way in this lane, I'd say. Frisk, certainly, he needs to be a little bit careful himself. I mean, he's walked underneath the tower, copped a couple of right clicks from him, and I mean, this is a Tusk that he doesn't have the Ice Shards, and he doesn't have an Orb of Venom, actually, so Frisk should be able to get away, so I don't think he would have gone for that pull if the Tusk's skill build wasn't known, but he's already used the tag team once. So I feel like this is exactly what you need to do, right? The kill threat with the Tusk Clinkz, I think, is what they were going for into the Beastmaster, but you've taken that away just by being able to play behind this tower, by having Heart being forced to just sit here and farm for this next little bit. So this is a big plus coming through for Piggy Killer.
And meanwhile, with our top lane as well, does look like Irving's off to a pretty good start. And again, you can't see any way that Irving's going to be pressuring the lane. Like, this should be a free lane for him, yeah?
For Irving? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like, this just strengthens. If they saw a strength hero, they were going to dispel any sort of questions that they might have had. My big question is, like, how exactly is he wanting to build? I know I said I wanted just to go 1 point reactive armor and then look to be that space creator. It looks like he might be able to get a kill on to outside, which he will. But they still are lacking tower pushes outside of him. So I can understand if he wanted to just go the, I'm going to plant myself in the lane and there's nothing you can do about it build.
And what about the build actually for the Night Stalker? Because we are both expecting this to be a really rough lane for him. And we've seen the Night Stalker position 1 currently is going for this Radiance Rush. And if he's going to have a bad start, does he have the luxury to go for that greedy item in the Radiance?
Not sure he does. But what exactly is the build that you can go for? I guess just something like an Echo Saber feels kind of nice. Like Echo Saber into a BKB could be the go. Because I feel like his role this game is just to be able to get on top of the Disruptor, get on top of the Ember Spirit, get on top of the Clinkz without too much going back the other way. So try and avoid the Timbersaw as much as possible. What I was saying with Frisk before as well is that you're going with this 0 armor Tiny into a Clinkz lane, and that is just so much physical damage that you're having to deal with. Of course, Burning Barrage is physical as well, not magic, so you're just taking the full brunt of all of those extra damages from the arrows. Really feels like level 3 is where they're truly going to be unlocked, but I mean, Ava's been able to get 4 stacks of that Whirling Axes onto the Clinkz, so again, they're forced to play a little bit more defensively. Still bottom of the net worth, but Clinkz isn't exactly having the freest time farming either. He's got 6 stacks up now. keep an eye out. Let's see how good he is at dodging. Ooh, 7, 8, one more and he could be dead. Lane's pushing out enough though.
Looks like he's going to be right. There's some one charges as well to play with shortly on Heart. Meanwhile, mid lane, we do have some support starting to look to rotate over as well. Both sides should be able to secure one of the water runes. XM's a little bit too late though, so Imitator will find the deny. Might be in some trouble, but the Glimpse friends just going to get sent away. So in the end, it's going to be a trade in regards to the supports as outside. But help XM to get the kill. They're still going to try and put the pressure onto Phoenix. They do have a level advantage between the position twos. XM is not going to consider about keeping up in the chase.
XM as well, he hasn't put a single point in the Diabolic Edict, so their push is going to be a little slower, but you can rely on the Beastmaster to be the one doing that, especially once that level 6 comes out, and of course he's going into the Helm of the Dominator, so with the amount of space that he's being given solo down here as well on Ava, it's going to make him get up onto that level 6 slightly before the Clinks as well, so, I mean, especially if he's able to get into the Helm Dom before that the Death Pact is available, that's going to be a big win.
Potentially by some of the stacks, we might see that faster Helm Dom timing. Frisk is now going to be able to go back towards a triangle and unblock the Ancients, but if it hasn't been able to make any stacks at the moment with the boards, and actually might be in trouble. Undyne and Imitator in combination together is going to make sure Ava has no chance to escape. Frisk will really make them work for it here with the Avalanche, but yeah, it's not going to be enough, so a nice kill for them to find, and Irving is without a doubt, there's just nothing they can do to him solo on this Timber, so it's really going to enable the support to be a little bit more active in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Fly, he's got the right strategy though. Just don't let into the Timber. That's the main goal for him right now. He just wants to try and stay as far away as possible, get up a lot of this solo farm as well. I think that side's going to arrow the siege creep, but that's just so that he can start to continue to make those movements away and try and equalize some of these other lanes.
Again, Ava might be in trouble.
Yeah. Hearts might be in trouble
actually,
too.
Actually, Freestyle starts first. They're going to be able to get the toss back. Another round of the Axis, but a great timing out of the Snowball.
Oh, no.
It'll at least dodge Ava's other round, but still, Heart goes down. And Undyne, he's in trouble. You've got multiple boards to help slow him down. Another round of the combo is... All right, Piggy Killer, beautifully done. They're going to be able to find 2 kills off the back of that rotation.
The shards trapping into Clinks kind of helped, but yeah. It is what it is. They might be able to get a kill on the Imitator as well, as they're going to go for a bit of a dive here.
It's going to be quick.
I do. It looks like they should. Never mind.
Oh, no.
It's only 1 point in the arrow.
Should be able to live, though, and now outside. They get the kill at the last second, but outside, he's still going to go down. Great shards from Undyne this time.
Good pressure going into that mid lane, though, by XM all the while. Still 0 points in the Edict, but he's just forcing the Ember to try and stay in this lane, just in case, and... Oh, Fly going to yoink away a little bit of that farm. I just wonder, this is going to become so much more difficult once that Helm of Iron Will is actually picked up by Ava.
Ooh. I don't know if they can get anything more out of this Dark Ascension usage, and without a doubt, Irving, he slams away that life, and bottom lane, the action's going to continue to break out. Undyne unable to sidestep the Axis, so Ava is up to a killing spree now here for the Beastmaster.
Irving's really doing everything you want him to, though, right? I do want him to just stay... 2 points reactive armor, I think, is totally fine, It's just got to be all damage from here on out. No one feels like they can kill him at this stage. He's already got the hood, plenty of stats, magic 1, 11 charges. Just try and take this tower solo if possible. Or use the creeps to do so while extending your net worth lead. It's actually going to make a TP rotation down bottom, making sure you're not giving up too much of your own jungle. Okay, don't hate that one either. We know that Clinks loves to be able to farm, especially once he picks up that Maelstrom off the back of stacks.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
How's Frisk gotten all the way around them? Look at this backstab from Tiny. None of the supports are going to catch him now. Well, maybe there might be an opening onto Phoenix there, but it's going to be okay. So they'll actually turn for maybe the easy kill into the Disruptor. XM doesn't have the greatest mana pool to work with. We'll look to activate some of the one charges, but now with Hard in the neighborhood, he's going to help provide the damage they were lacking to secure the kill. And Diet, they just don't have the numbers. Even Irving wants to show up as well, just to secure the secondary member to go down on Piggy Killer.
And they do take a strong fight as well, so you're going to get some damage into the tower too, so that's exactly what they were wanting. Irving has a quick scout just to see what the situation is like with the camps inside of the Ancients area for Piggy Killer. Not going to be able to take those away, but I like how active he's getting. Again, just 2 points reactive, that's all he needs. And, well, Ava, he's manipulating the lane very well as well, staying as far back towards safety as possible.
There we go, that creep should be able to give him close enough. Bubble spoke pretty much at the exact same placement, just on the other cliff here from either side. Popping, what's the call? Irving, incredibly strong. They're going to look for XM. A glimpse him away for the moment. Still, Undying's going to be able to close the distance. XM does have the boys starting to move on over, but it looks like he's going to go down nonetheless. And now Irving can look over to the rest of the remaining members. Plenty of damage up. Long toss away, and that was a gigantic toss. What happened there? So
I don't know, but, well, there you go. There's that Timber Saw, enabling the vision, enabling the Disruptor to truly start to have that impact. And, well, they were at least able to take care of the siege creep, so the push in mid is going to be a little bit slower. But, again, I can't sing the man's praises enough, right? He's doing exactly what he needs to on this Timber Saw. It's a good Timber game. And he's going to immediately try and make something happen up towards the top side. Of course, Flyfly, he is actually going for that Radiance Rush. Got to try and keep this siege creep alive if possible. And, well, Irving's going to do just that while also forcing a Dark Ascension out of the Night Stalker. That's exactly what he wanted. So the man has not made a single mistake so far this game, outside of, you know, the first blood, but I don't think you could really bank on a Night Stalker draft getting as active as it did.
You mentioned kind of the build that we've been seeing lately for the Timber, so you know, we're going to see that out of him. 2 points reactive, looking for the Sunjin Kaya afterwards, and then probably that Scepter and Blink. Undying. Well, even this is just the Tusk even just running into the jungle and Flyfly having to back on out, so that's a scary thing when a support's able to bully a core. And meanwhile, inside the river, you got Frisk also going down as well on the Tiny. Still only level 5 out of Frisk, just hoping that he can try and soak a little bit of experience mid lane, but Bright looking to try and make sure that is not a possibility.
That's not gonna happen.
3,000 net worth lead. Such a great start for raiding all their cores. Getting all the farm they would need. Heart, he's got plenty of stacks over the triangle as well, and meanwhile, the supports in combination together, looking for outside, but triple leap means that Undying is, without a doubt, going to be killed off. XM, a big kill here. Unfortunately, it's going to get split between the two.
Irving and Phoenix and Imitator, they just take mid all the while. Like, Irving's been involved in both of the tower pushes so far, in defending bottom lane from being pushed in 3 separate times, in getting a kill onto a Night Stalker, 2 kills onto the Leshrac. I'm going to sound like a bit of a fan, but he's playing so damn well, man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Downside is that he doesn't have this TP scroll available, so he's not going to be able to defend a third bottom tower from going down. You wouldn't think. His career is still a little bit of time away, so you know, no man's perfect.
Yeah, but what he is also doing, even though they lose that tower, is just stopping some of the farm Flyfly can get. Like sitting up in his face, taking over the jungle. So Flyfly, all he's getting is some farm under the tower, but this next wave that connects, he might even be pressured as well. So nonetheless, we still see Irving.
Oh, they know where they are.
Bully right now.
They've got this vision placed down by Imitator, so they might be able to get a bit of a backstab going. XM, he's the main target.
Should be rewarded with it as well. Static Storm on a perfect placement, so Frisk not to be able to get an angle out of the combo. They still got to try and turn it around. Ava off the back of the roar, but the damage, it is actually enough. Frisk,
Ooh.
that's a pretty big streak for the Tiny to find in particular, getting him closer towards his Blink Dagger, but with Electrack having such a poor start to this game, we're seeing how difficult it is for them to make plays off the back of this on Piggy Killer, and you don't have the levels as well from the DICE supports, only level 6 out of the Tiny, so him along with the Mirana are really struggling to get active.
I wonder if it's a bit of cope, but is that almost a win, you know, for Piggy Killer? Like, they get a huge 6 times kill streak onto the Tiny, so he's so much closer towards the Blink Dagger and enables you to be active. And it takes away a tiny bit of the tempo just through Ember being dead. And Fly is able to just sit up top knowing that there's a gank going on bottom so that he gets into a Sacred Relic and he's almost got his Radiance.
I don't think that's cope at all. You'd hate for Fly to go down, though.
Yes, you would.
Kinetic Field's going to hold him into place, and they should have the damage with Hard here, being able to slow him down thanks to the tag team. So, again, another death that you really can't be affording, and Frisk is trying to find the angle with the combo. They're looking for the toss back. They'll just hold him into place to be able to set up for the arrow. So there we go. You're going to be able to find a kill, but I mean, with all this going on, you free up the mid lane, so Phoenix, he was able to find that Arcane Rune. He did actually use it straight away, so
I think it was a little low after that gank attempt. Still got this, again, Imitator, his warding has been on point. His deep vision up, providing a lot of information about who's where. They would have seen Ava still sticking down towards the bottom side, so maybe they feel free enough to be able to find the kill onto XM, but no Tibber chain available.
Glimpse. Oh, Pogo forward, XM. He's going to try and turn it around.
Bloodstone.
Bloodstone just got delivered. They're doing a pretty good job to split away from the Leshrac, but they're getting a lot of the spell life still. But XM's not dead just yet, and as a result, the turnaround, it might be enough. They'll finally get the kill into Irving. Now Fly as well is going to try and chase down Hart, but this is without the Radiance completed. So a big timing that they're still lacking for Dire, and that's going to help enable Team Bright to be able to find this final kill onto Frisk.
It will. It also, I mean, Frisk, though, he again takes away a kill streak. So that's going to be his Blink Dagger finished up. That's huge. And it's probably something that shouldn't have happened. With the Timbersaw, if you can have a look at the death summary, I saw him pop the the hood at the very end. And the last little bit of damage that he's receiving is all physical. There was plenty of magic damage that he could have blocked before then. It would have allowed the reactive armor to start to, you know, continue to tick. Magic wand, get usage out of that a second time. So probably shouldn't have been dying there on the Timbersaw, and it might have just given Piggy Killer a chance back into this game off the back of the Blink Dagger. Frisk, he's playing down here on the bottom side next to Ava, but he's not going to be the target that they go for. They're spotting out this Night Stalker. But again, he's been able to dodge this one out. 5 seconds until Dark Ascension. He's got the Radiance finished. He would love to have level 2 ulti before he's forced to pop it again.
The ward, I believe, by the hard camp for Radiant was able to scout out that smoke, so Piggy Killer won't be able to find anything. Still, they're taking quite some time for Bright to address this push from Ava as well, so yeah. Looks like there's some indecisiveness for them. They were starting to go bottom, and now they're actually going to turn to try and attempt to get Roche.
Okay, at least they could potentially get something off the back of this, but they're even just going to instantly use the Moonlight, realizing, you know what, these guys, they might be a bit indecisive, but they're not bad. They're going to be getting something in exchange for this, and, well, Imitator will at least get the glimpse back onto the Mirana, so they should be able to claim the Roshan for themselves. But I've just been loving Frisk's positioning as soon as he got this Blink Dagger, right? And I'm sure it's something that Bright were aware of as well, which might have led them to not respond to this bottom push, just knowing that they had that big burst damage available to them.
Again, this ward needs to be dealt with.
Yeah. They got the Helm of the Overlord now, though, on Beast. Feels nice. Just a nice damage buff as well for Fly, who he sees Undying. Wouldn't hate to go on him first.
Hard, though.
See him.
Got the vision,
he's right next to
and
him.
they've got the control as well. That is a huge kill for them to find. They're probably going to be able to get Undying. The Void Up still on cooldown. Just use
no Avatar, no arrow, no Void.
They're coming over.
Can you do this?
I mean, of course, they gave the Aegis over to the Timber, so they need to kite him inside the middle of the team fight. They're going to try and deal with Imitator first. He was able to lay down the Static Storm before they secured the kill. At least that'll help them turn it back around. But Fly's rewarded with a double. Still going to be pretty cautious. He might get blown up from one combo. Like Irving, unable to get that connection out of the timber chain. It didn't really matter, but it was a nice heads-up play there from Ava to try and use the axes to cut the tree that Irving was wanting to jump to. But so we're seeing these two look to hunt together outside once again with a double leap away, but Undying won't get sucked too deep inside Piggy Killer's base.
So we finally get a chance to take a breath this game. 33 kills in the first 19 minutes. It's been a lot of action, and understandably, you know, this Timber needed to get aggressive. He's been awarded with the Aegis as well to be able to continue that movement on forward. And he's going into the BKB too. That is a big weakness that you've got out of this Piggy Killer draft for now, is that a lot of your damage is reliant on the Night Stalker ultimate and, you know, just the Night Stalker himself. So if you're able to get into that BKB, you're not even worried about standing on top of the Lesh.
You gotta say though, wasn't expecting Fly to have this much net worth. Like,
yeah.
we spoke a lot about how his lane was going to be pretty difficult to the Timber, but the fact that he's rivaling Clinks on top is very impressive to his own farming patterns.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get crushed in the lane because of he didn't lane, right? He pulled the wave to the right side consistently. He's been able to avoid a fair few of these ganks. And as well, kind of as a counterpoint to what Anti-Mage was doing last game when Hart was playing it, he's not hesitating to go for these openings to farm, right? When there's an aggressive move on the other side of the map, he's just like, right, I got space, push it in immediately. Get the fastest farm, which is a creep wave, using Void off cooldown to be able to do it, and then backing off immediately after once the attention from the team fight is gone.
This might be bad for Radiant. They dropped the ward sentry mid lane and weren't able to de-ward. I thought Dai was going to collapse on the lane from the left and the right. Now they're going to look to back off. A little bit too worried about taking a team fight inside that area.
They still know he's there, though. Oh. Again, Imitator, these wards. They're just giving so much information. Got to be worried, though, that Fly now, he's got an Ogre Axe as well. He'll almost have his level 15, so additional damage during that Dark Ascension. BKB getting closed in on too. I don't know if just the two of them can get a kill onto the Clinks,
top lane. Yeah, let's see. They start the...
Knight right next to the tower. If that tower was down, maybe, but I just feel like there's so many avenues for them to come back. But, you know, maybe this is just a thing of, you know what, we want Beastmaster to get some farm. Let Ava farm on the bottom side of the map. Let's see some of these rotations that come through. It's not like they can take tier 1 top. It's not like there's a Roshan for them to claim. So it could just be a bit of space making. But the thing is, if they're not going to immediately look to make an aggressive play as soon as this Dark Ascension expires, I'm not sure what Team Bright are doing, right? Because they've got an Aegis, they're going to have 4 minutes of daytime. This is their time to make something happen. And
that's the big thing, though, isn't it? That 4 minutes of daytime. This is a real scary time here. The boys on Piggy Killer. You might need to just sacrifice some of your support. I see Frisk.
Oh,
gonna be able to pop the smoke and get the blink away. Fly will successfully TP out, but at least they'll get the kill onto the Tiny.
Not enough.
It does cost them 4 members though, and yeah, exactly like you said, that is not enough. Ava's shoving out bottom. You got Fly now back over to the triangle and getting a little bit of farm. So, but yeah, that's not enough for what was just expended on Dial.
You got to group up. You got to make use out of this Aegis. Irving, he can push this lane in, but then he's still not confident enough to be able to face into multiple heroes converging in onto him while he's alone. I really wanted to see them to group up just that little bit further. And, you know, it's 3 minutes left of the daytime, but only 45 seconds left until you're going to have that Dark Ascension available. By that point, Fly's level 15. He's got the BKB finish, so they actually are able to fight.
And you've given Ava time to shove bottom in as well. So, yes, you're going to be able to get the tier 2 tower, but your tier 3 is going to take a decent amount of damage as well in exchange for this.
Don't exactly take this tier 2 fast, though. Aegis is expiring, so Irving's going to be shaking a little bit. They will still get it, and they'll be able to take away that outpost, but that's just basically re-establishing space on the map that they probably should have already had. And now, again, oh, they did, but they've got level 15, they've got Dark Ascension, they got BKB on Night Stalker, so this is the first fight that he truly feels confident in being able to go in first. Bit of a rotation by Tiny and the Leshrac together just to find that quick pick off, but they're backing off together as well on Team Bright. So both teams doing a fairly decent job of reading it. I just feel like when Piggy Killer do it, it happens that little bit faster, you know?
Yep. It seems like we're just moments away from a gigantic fight breaking out and potentially one side having a little bit more momentum than the other. You brought up before when we had the break that we've had a very, very action-packed start to this second game, but other sides have started to slow it down, and that really favors Dire compared to the Radiant lineup at the moment. So I'm going to be very, very cautious here from Radiant. One slip up and this Dire lineup start to get a lot of control of the map. That's another tower going down up top for free.
It's just so easy for them to push, right? Like, you've got a Beastmaster with the Helm of the Overlord, you've got a Leshrac with Diabolic Edict, and, well, they don't have Glyph because they had to use it previously down bottom. So, sure, you might get a tier 1, but look at what happens in exchange.
Imitator for the DD. Should be able to get the kill. Frisk is at least able to find the Avalanche for the glimpse away. They will miss on the arrow, though. It actually gives Imitator enough time to be able to step on over to the bodyguards. Phoenix and Irving acting as that. Still hunting though. Frisk has got the blink at the ready. Who do they want to try and target down? In one of the north though, outside's going to be the first point of contact, but they want to still re-enter the fight. Fly. A third of his health just evaporates from one spell from Irving, and that was the Dark Ascension suspended as well from Piggy Killer, but as a result of the damage that we saw from the Timber, this Night Stalker wants nothing to do with him.
I'm a little surprised as well that Ava didn't keep his Thunderhide up towards the top side of the map. You know, they forced out a big team fight. The creep wave was right next to the tower.
And Fly might have to pop a BKB. Can they get in range for the glimpse? The vision, thanks to the creeps, they're going to turn for Frisk instead. The Tiny should still go down. Fly Dark Ascension did just expire, and oh, he's going to have to silence BKB and TP out as a result of that.
All right. So it's not perfect from either team, but this does give them, again, that little bit of an opening for Team Bright to be able to play around with. At least it's nighttime, though, for Piggy Killer. So if a fight does look to break out next, they are going to at least have that Hunter in the Night passive. Of course, you know, Night Stalkers, they deal a ton of damage just off the back of the Dark Ascension and, you know, in the natural build with their attack speed, but that's going to be buffed up even further with Ava on his Beastmaster. Just having that Inner Beast Aura, an additional 40 attack speed for free, feels like gold for a Night Stalker.
They're starting to move on over top, though. They've got some pretty good Hawks set up under the tier 2 tower. I wonder if they're considering about...
They're checking if Roger's up. That's
Phoenix.
the main concern.
Okay.
They've got a scan available on Team Bright, but they're not using it into the pit just yet, and that's a very ballsy move. They take it real fast, but they see them. They see them entirely. No gem for Team Bright. It's just being held on the Night Stalker at this time so that whenever he pops that Dark Ascension, you can always see what sort of cliffs have been warded. And they're grouping up in preparation for this Roche fight as well. It's going to come at a pretty good timing. This Basher finished up by Fly as well.
Either side's getting very close to these small timings. Hard, almost level 18.
Oh, he's even got a Blink Dagger coming out for XM. He wants to push out one more wave. Look at them. Like, it's just like a tidal wave. You know, they back off as a team against just this Timbersaw. But they're getting a lot more efficiency out of this.
They're starting the fight early. They're going to look to try and get the jump. A quick assassination of Undyne. They've got a great ward on the high ground to scout out where they're backing off to as well. So Frisk, with this information, he should be able to find the follow-up initiation. He's got the Blink Dagger back up. The combo, it's on to 2. Disruptor's gone. They're not going to have the support. So now it's up to the cause for the Raw. It'll hold hard into place. Phoenix doing his best to turn it back around, but they need a way to address XM, and they don't have that at the moment. With a Leshrac too strong out of the cover of the Bloodstone. Now the Timber, though, maybe this could be an opening for Irving. A lot of damage coming up for the Chakram, but Fly just tears apart the Ember. Looks to turn over to Irving as well. One bash is all they needed as Irving will go down to close out the fight, and Piggy Killer finally come out on top.
It just feels like they've got such a good understanding of how strong they are at different stages of the game, right? Like, that fight ended legitimately the second that Dark Ascension expired. So they're like, all right, mission accomplished. We were able to get it down. Again, a dieback being expended from the Disruptor. And they're just using all of this vision so superbly. Great initiation by Frisk as well, of course, twice.
And the vision, too. Yes, the Dark Ascension, but hang on, Undying? Or the Night Stalker illusion, maybe? Regardless, they saw him, so okay. Fly's got the Aegis now. He's even got the Shard as well, which is very nice for his uptime across the map, and net worth lead. With the Aegis, we could just see the map really start to shrink fast, because Fly is going to start to sweep across the map and try and D-ward.
It's already kind of small, isn't it? They don't have a lot to be able to play around with. The top sides being pushed in. They have the glyph back up, but again, a single lost fight means that you're not going to have that tier 3 glyph. Then you suddenly got creep waves coming into you. Doesn't feel incredibly strong.
No, it does not. Oh, what do? We saw what Bright, their first Aegis, they weren't really able to get anything out of it. Piggy Killer, will they have the same kind of 5 minutes as what we saw prior? Ava is alone up top.
And XM is away from the rest of the boys as well. Just looking to, again, continue to pick up that farm. They realize they're in a really strong position. They don't need to make things happen immediately. Maybe just trying to bait Team Bright to take a fight into them during the daytime against that Night Stalker. But of course, he's going to have that Dark Ascension available, and he's close to being able to pick up the Abyssal as well. I think he might have actually just done it. Yeah, it's just got to come out to the courier.
We feel like this Guardi is a big turning point, and it's actually Fly. He's Undying. It's very aggressive. At least they're close to an objective, so maybe that bonus damage is going to be able to come into play with taking some of these, but we would have loved to get the kill off the back of that. I do want to quickly just bring up before a fight occurs, what do you feel of this Clink's Guardi? Like, could this be a big turning point for him? Because we really haven't felt his impact.
No, and it's kind of why the Clink's really isn't picked. I was mentioning it before that it's just so hard to be able to, he gets out, to lock in and use that Burning Barrage to its full effect. And even just look at the itemization coming through. You've got, he's holding on to the Blast Rig on the Beastmaster just for a little bit of that extra armor. You've got Leshrac going into the Shivas. Of course, Night Stalker very tanky too.
Undying's going to be forced to hold his Warrior's Puncher. XM can't TP out, and as a result, it'll just be an easy chase down. Really nicely done. XM's been playing across the map and away for his team for a vast majority of this game, so finally Bright going to be able to punish that.
And now, like I mentioned that they had the Dark Ascension previously, well, they don't. You know, Night Stalker can, I guess, look to join the fight considering he's got the Aegis, but I like the fact that Hard is playing a little bit more aggressively now. You know, you're just a Clinks, you're not an anti-mage with a blink away, but he's pushing these lanes out. He's forcing some defensive rotations to potentially come from Piggy Killer. This bottom lane can't be sneezed at, you know, and we just see outside moves down here. So now you don't have Greaves to play with. You don't have an arrow to set up after an arrow.
They're both off the mark. Frisk was able to jump to the left. He's going to try and TP up the... Oh my lord, I thought the Shard's push away actually might have made the snowball not get there fast enough, but regardless, they'll get the kill. Still, you would have hoped for a juicy one into Fly, who now has been able to back off and keep the gem in his hands and also now find that 20.
Is anyone else going for Staff Gaming? Yeah, I like the fact that Outside is doing it too. I mean, kind of like how Hoodwink feels countered in a big way by Quelling Blade. Force Staff counters Clinks. You know, you just get them out of the Burning Barrage, and then what are you really all that worried about, you know? It's not like he's got the Aghanim Shard to be able to play with for the Skeleton Walk. There's no Burning Army as well. It's going to just lock off an area. So it's going to be quite challenging for them. They really need this wombo combo, but I just don't think they've got the heroes to hold them in place to do so.
You'd like him to consider a Gleipnir? I suppose, yes, you can still force out of it, but maybe it's just a little bit extra control for longer drawn out fights, or is he still lacking that damage?
Like if you hit a 3-man Gleipnir, you know, 1 or 2 might be saved, but you'll get the 3rd, you know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it. I don't hate him going into more damage as well, though, just so that maybe the damage comes in too fast for you to actually have that reaction. Or hopefully for their sake, they don't get this smoke happening underneath the ward, though.
They
like
did just see the... Saw the Clinks run all the way back to base, so they know they've got some room to push out on the map. Unfortunately, did just lose a really good observer to the remnants of that Tier 2 tower.
They'll have seen who's holding the gem,
a great
though.
target. Oh, they'd love to be able to bring down the Ember, but would just be the disruptor. First point of contact. Firefly did commit the Dark Ascension, maybe hoping to see if
not in the
anyone
greatest
else was nearby.
places, though. I mean, I guess they could use it to D-ward, but you would have wanted a lot more out of this, as he's looking to go for a bit of a hunt onto Irving here. He TP's for full pop of the BKB, yep.
He can hold him here for quite some time as well. Tries to get the Hex into the chain away, but Frisk is already here, and there's going to be no escape. Even Ava looks to try and TP down just to help secure the kill, and like you said, he just bought out, so that he's 70 seconds without the Timber. What can they get out of this now for Piggy Killer?
I mean, you could just run it down. Like, maybe if he doesn't use that Scythe of Ice, they think, well, does he have enough? I guess with that new mechanic of just being able to click into his inventory, they would have seen that he's got this big item that didn't exist previously, and so he probably doesn't have buyback. But I'd be really shocked if they didn't look to go for at least a single push into this high ground now.
I guess for raiding it, that you will be working with one glyph and a potential refresh, so that can kind of help stall. Maybe the Ember Slight and the Burning Barrage could be a bit of a concern. So Big Killer seems like they're trying to set up for a kill across the map. Another ward dropped on this cliff. I swear I've seen 4 wards here, and they keep getting D-warded straight away. There we go.
And there we go. I mean, against a gem, you can't put it on low ground, right? You have to keep putting it on cliffs or, you know, these places that give incredibly low amounts of information. So I don't hate the fact that it keeps going there. But yeah, it doesn't feel ideal.
Yeah, it's just funny how it keeps dying. Well,
they haven't gotten anything, though, off the back of this Timber being dead, which I'm a little surprised about.
I think maybe the one nice thing is that they should be able to address their lanes, and you back to nighttime. So you're in a pretty strong position. Once XM is able to shove out the lane, he'll probably TP to the outpost, but he needs to be pretty fast.
I mean, with the lanes being addressed, you know that they're probably split up a little bit, so they're looking to go for one of these quick pickoffs.
Got a glimpse of the Night Stalker as well. Fly. Great reaction out of the blink, and XM, he's going to commit straight away, connecting with the team.
The boys are together.
They want the back line. Fly. They've got all the vision they would ever desire. They're going to try and group up around their ward. This is their only hope. But as a result, you see the instant jump. They're onto Irving on the Timbers. The damage could have been off as XM holds him down, gets all the health pull away. And now Fly, he's looking to lock onto Hard as well. A BKB's been activated, but there's no running. There's no hiding for the Clinks. Abyssal to set up for the Arrow. And there's going to be 0 casualties for the boys on Piggy Killer. And again, Raiding are lacking the buyback, so Dire can look to walk it up now.
I think they can indeed. I'm not sure if we have the capability for a replay for that one there, but if we do, I just want everyone to have a look at the Night Stalker, how he moves around, because he assumes that they've got vision up on that high ground, and he was playing right on the edge of that high ground vision on the cliff, so no one knew that he was coming in for the back lines. Great movement there by Fly.
And you see what they're doing with all the vision that Fly is able to provide them as well. Like, just great jump in, Ava with the Hex, XM instant with the follow-up. Probably going to be 2 full sets of barracks, it looks like.
It's not really doing that much for poor Frisk, and yeah, again, they've got, they're going to get someone else, or Imitator.
20 seconds. They want to get the melee. Irving's back alive. Pretty decent static storm. XM's just going to turn it. The dieback on the Disruptor. Phoenix, his BKB is on cooldown for a couple of seconds. Can they get the stun? Ava! The roar is there in the nick of timing. A buyback is available, but Piggy Killers are starting to swarm deeper and deeper inside Radiant's base. They've got to respect the respawn zone coming up shortly from the Clinks, and we're going to see them do just that, pillaging the last barracks and then getting out with their own lives as well.
Very, very nice. Even got the overwhelming blink now as well on Fly Dark Ascension, just coming back off cooldown. So if you're able to get it onto the tusk, you can't get that instant blink away. if you're really quick on the fingers, and it just allows him to shove these lanes out so much quicker as well because of how farmed he is. So now, pretty simple, right? Plant your flag on this high ground, take away the ancient camps, get some tier 4 items, get the tier 2 tower, leave a illusion rune inside the Roche pit, which will get about 2 seconds of Roche vision before it expires. So nicely done there by XM, and then look to catch them making a bad defense or a bad smoke. But I really feel like it's going to be hard for them to have a good initiation come through here on Team Bright when they're 25k net worth down.
You saw them teetering on the edge of trying to get that jump inside the base, but he said just play this one safe, chill it out. Get this Roche up shortly, so don't want to try and throw this lead away.
If you're getting tier 4 items as well and the enemy team isn't, you're happy.
Able? They got a lot of information for Dire to play with. All these Hawks just littering the map makes it so difficult for Radiant to ever have an opportunity to take a team fight on their own accord, and XM's onto the secondary support again, and now Phoenix as well. Great reactions.
Still couldn't be heavy.
He's always there. No opportunity for the Magic community. Now the Timber's going to be caught out. That'll be all she wrote. With the Timber going down, he'll stand his ground for a little bit. BKB turn. All right, fly. The last second activation of the BKB, and in fact, they've been able to get on top of the Clinks, and as a result, the G's will be called. Piggy Killer, a much better series victory from them. This was really like the one thing that I was looking forward to.